Welcome back to the studio. My name is Yaku, behind the camera is the Maya, and this is our channel. If you are new here, this is what we do. We go through a week's worth of work, and then we pick a little something from that, and we go, let's share that with the world, which is exactly what we're going to do today. We are getting byproducts from doing the sharing, which is people contacting us, wanting us to do something for them. Today's video is about such a case. Jack asked us to create something really special for his dad. It's a signet ring, which we've done videos on before, so we're going to run over the process we used this time again just very quickly. And it had some special meaning to it, and Jack also wanted some texture on it, some sort of a texture that made it different, that made it unique. So watch the video until the end if you wanted to see how we got this texture on this particular ring, and I'll share with you what I've done. It makes for a ring that's really going to stand out. So a strip of metal 4mm thick, because I have to bend it. The thickest part of the signet needs to be 4mm because I need to flatten the top and still have that beef on the ends. And I pre-trace my basic shape, not absolute final shape, but a basic shape to work around, including the shank coming down. Cut it off, bend it round, solder it, and then start hammering it. We're conditioning it by hammering it. It actually compresses the metal. I'm not so much filing it, I'm hammering it into shape, and then I'm using the file to refine the shape thereafter. As far as I'm concerned, it's more compressed, it's more hard wearing. I've discussed with Jack with regards to the plate where we're going to be doing an inlay that could be in gold. The reason being, we're going to do a crest engraving on that gold plate. If I did it on the silver tends to wear off much quicker, so we're looking for longevity. I want to give him a product which is going to last as long as possible. I want it to sink in. I don't want it to lie on top of the signet ring. I want it to sink in so it almost has a stone setting kind of effect on it, like you would have an onyx or something that's stone set into it. Out of the solid ring that I've just created, I needed to create some sort of a indentation for that gold plate to lie on. The way I went about that is I marked my oval on top of the section that I wanted to be seated. Now this is a trick that I learned a long time ago when it came down to working with pieces that needed to be cast and we needed to weight relieve them. But it helped me because if you're looking at a 1mm ball phrase, for instance, and you drop that 1mm ball phrase right down to the point where the ball itself is sunken in, you know that if you're going to do another hole next to that exactly the same, you're consistently sinking it down exactly the same height. So I've dropped the entire surface down exactly 1mm. And then what I've done is when I come down with a graver to cut the surfaces in between away, I've only got these fractional pieces in between the holes that I've really got to deal with. So I've just got to mow through all of that. Pretty straightforward from here onwards. I'm going to create the oval and the gold so that I can match it with the hole that I've just created, and I can continuously judge it to see how deep I want it. If I find it needs to be slightly deeper, same process, take the little ball phrase, drop it down, and then just cut away. Make sure your surface is as flush as possible. In this case, I'm not going to solder this in, I'm going to create these rivets, and I've done that with this previous pendant that we've done as well over here, where we've actually brought the gold together with the platinum in this case. In this case, we're going to take the gold and match it in with the silver. When that fits, I've got the height right, I've got the size right, and from there onwards remove it. So I'm going to turn the ring around and find two parts where I want to put two chunky wires through, mark them from the bottom, drill them up. When they pop out the top, put the little plate on top of that, and then simply just turn it around and mark on the plate exactly where those holes are positioned. Then I can take that plate out and solder my two very sturdy 9-carat gold, which is what we're using in this case, pins on it, so that when I then bring it back, it'll be like a puzzle and I can push it straight through and burnish it from the bottom. Now this burnishing process, I have to flare out where they come through the bottom. I've got to flare that out slightly because I'm going to be hammering that metal to spread out into those holes, and that's essentially how they're held together. So that's how we joined the two parts together. The only solder that we have on the gold is on the gold plate. The only solder we have on the silver is at the bottom. There's no solder holding the gold together. It's riveted together, and that gives me my neat finish. I'm putting the ring into my bench vise, and I'm doing the crest engraving. We'll talk about engraving and signet engraving at some other point. Anyway, we've done the engraving. It's basically the final product for the assay. Assay office, where they do the hallmarking in the UK, is a legal requirement, and I can't sell a product without putting it on there. We send it off. These are the hallmarks that we've chosen to put on there. I've got a mixed metal hallmark. Sterling silver is a little lion, the little sort of side stepping line. And then you've got the assay office itself, which is London Assay Office, which is also, strangely enough, a line but facing forward. And then this Y over here is the Y to say that this is the year. It's obviously an alphabet, but they keep changing the font and the boxes that come in, so you can date these back. And of course, my maker's mark as well. We spoke to Jack and I said to him, listen, I've got an idea. Are you all right with this? And he let me know, go for it. I like this texture because it's typically we would use a graver that's got many little grooves at the bottom going in one direction, and then you would cross that, and it's called cross hatching. But I didn't cross hatch this. I felt that the signet ring has a direction to it. I wanted to enhance the direction by coming up with a turn, an angle from this side to the bottom, and an angle from this side coming up to meet that section. So essentially it has this movement coming down the ring this way, and then coming up the ring and meeting at one area straight up like this. It's difficult to explain. Gone through plating the entire ring 18-karat yellow gold plating, and then I reverse it ever so slightly by going red gold plating, but only for a few seconds, and bringing it out again just to break that 18-karat brightness. Now I've got those grooves I've just created, so what I'm doing is I'm breaking the grooves just the top ever so slightly. I'm just touching it, so I'm removing the plating on the ends of the actual groove, and then once I've done that, I can go to a process of oxidizing. Now oxidizing is going to be very severe on silver. It's going to create a black image on the silver itself, and we use this to age jewelry quite often. It's not going to oxidize the gold the same way it does the silver, so I'm effectively oxidizing the tops, and the parts that are cut down with the graver will be plated, so it's going to give a different effect on that. It's really taking the signet ring into a completely unique realm. To any creative person that is that kind of license, just it's freedom is all I can say. It's a very sentimental thing with regards to where it comes from. Therefore, I'm honored to have made this for you, Jack. Thank you very much for contacting us. Jack is one of our subscribers, and he's he's contacted us and he's wanted to have this ring commissioned. And the whole process of this ring, the birth of this ring, the existence from nothing to a product is now documented on this video as well, which he can share with his family. I have a few rings to make still before Christmas, which is just a week away. Next week I'm going to post a short video just to say that we're still alive, and I hope you guys have the best of holidays with your family. If that's the kind of thing that you do, if you feel that you want to go into the desert and be alone, I hope that you've got a good time alone as well. We're not going to judge.
Yeah.
Please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon as per usual, and thanks for all the support, guys. Till next week, take care, see ya. I've got to get back to work.